Hey guys, Double Wide 6, and today what I'm working on is I'm putting like a back rack on my truck because I'm trying to protect the rear window, and I also have a window that opens on the back of my truck, so I want to make that accessible and I want to try and do it as cheap as possible. So I have a solution, but it's going to take a little bit of welding and grinding to get it done. And today's video, that's what we're going to be focused on. Earlier in the year, I had a snowblower on here that shifted. There was like a snowblower, a generator, and I think an old lawnmower. And the whole load shifted, and it actually ended up hitting on the edge of my cab. It just missed the window, so I got pretty lucky. And I'm figuring I want to get this taken care of so that I don't end up breaking my window, because a lot of times I have stuff loaded on this truck. So anyhow, I was going to go to the scrap yard and build a rack, and I ended up finding, I was looking online to see, you know, what type of design I wanted and that, and this rack was less than $100. It's max haul, and it's welded up, about 3/16 inch steel cage, and it looks really well built, you know, for an item under $100, and that included shipping. So I'll put a link to this down below, and what I'm going to do is take this thing and modify it to fit my needs, because right now I can't open my rear window. So we're going to go through and try and get this thing exactly the way I want it. So the first step is going to be to cut away some of this thing so I can access the window. Next step, I'm just going to grind off those little stubs that are kind of stuck on there. Alright, this thing's made out of 2-inch tube, but because I need to have access to the whole window opening, so I'm going to use 1 1/4, and this is going to fit in here like this, so I got to grind out this little piece here. We'll get rid of that, and I'll bring this tube down to the bottom. So that'll get cut there, and this one will get cut here, and then I'll weld this grate back onto the tubing when I put it in. So this bottom rod here I can't get with my grinder, so I'm going to just cut it by hand with a hacksaw. That should be good. The next step is to cut a piece of pipe to fit in here. So for mine, it's going to be at 20 3/4. So we'll get another pipe cut. So I got one of these attached, welded in, and I got the next one just kind of clamped in place, and I'm going to put a couple tacks on there. Alright guys, I got it mounted on there, and I gotta say I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. It looks real nice. I added one more cross member. If you look up top, you see that light. I put a bar in there about, right below the light. That was kind of an afterthought, and I just stuck it in there. But I did it off camera. And one thing I wanted to mention is that I like to have window access for when I bring like 12-foot planks home. Then I can slip them in the window. But with this rack, I guess I could put them up top and over the roof if I wanted to. Got it all up here. Everything's painted up and welded, and it worked out real well. You can see I got some bungee cords hanging on it. The rack just kind of mounts up here on the side. I had to put this bolt in upside down because of a bracket on my truck, because I drilled the hole through where it was in this plate, and then it hit the edge of this bracket. So I bent the bracket a little bit and got that bolt up through there. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this thing. I mean, I'm in it under $100, and I customized it, and I had this done probably in like half a day, where if I had to build the whole thing, you're looking at probably like 2 days for me. But yeah, it looks good, and it's sturdy. The only thing that I don't like is everything's mounted good and secure on the bottom, but there's some wobble in this, which, it's not really going to affect me. I'm just trying to prevent from breaking that window. But, probably if I took a piece of rebar from here down to the corner of this bracket, that would stiffen up. I thought about doing that, but I figure I don't really need that extra strength. There's a little bit of a wobble in it, but it's not going to affect anything for me. So anyhow, not too bad for the cost and the amount of time it took me to fix it up. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up down there, and if you're not a subscriber, think about subscribing. I got a whole bunch of repair videos on my channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me, and have a good one.